Good morning. I'm Vice Mayor Shanika Smith and Chair of Boards and Commissions Committee. I'd like to welcome you all to our February 8th remote meeting. All council committee members and staff are participating virtually. We appreciate your patience as we work through holding these committee meetings a little bit different. To help the audience move along, I'll call each section aloud. We are streaming live on our virtual engagement hub, which is accessible through the virtual engagement hub link on the front page of the city website. We also have an option for the public to listen live by phone. For those of you out there with us today, welcome. For today's meeting, we have the option for people to call in and comment live during the meeting. To call in and comment live, use the same number, 855-925-2801, meeting code 9478. Your phone will be muted and you will hear the meeting live. At this point, speakers will need to push *3 to enter the speaker queue. I'll now go through and introduce all the committee members, staff, and guests who are participating with us virtually. Council and staff, as I call your name, please give a quick hello. Councilwoman Antoinette Mosley.
Good morning.
Councilwoman Kim Roney.
Good morning.
Deputy City Clerk Sarah Gross.
Good morning.
Assistant Clerk Jerry Goldberg.
Good morning.
And also we have from the Office of Equity and Inclusion, we have Brenda Mills.
Good morning.
And our Reparations Project Manager, Deborah Clark Jones.
Good morning.
And I believe we have also Salah Merritt here. I believe she's also participating as a team member of the Reparations Commission team.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you. Okay, I'll start with the top of our agenda. We're going to open up with live public comment. Are there any callers in the speaker queue?
They are. One moment, please.
Okay.
Caller ending in 6029. Your line should be open now. Sorry, caller, we're not able to hear you right now. 1 second while I troubleshoot this. Brenda, I see your hand.
Ms. Gross, I think that the line is muted. The 855 number is muted. Has it been unmuted?
It doesn't appear.
Oh, yeah.
It looks muted in the meeting.
In the meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
But you have to hit start here.
So here.
Oh, no. Well, not me. Yep. Okay. So it's unmuted.
There you go.
I'm sorry, caller.
Unmuted.
The line is unmuted now.
Awesome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Committee members, this is Patrick Conant from East West Asheville. I want to highlight the annual reports provided on today's agenda under unfinished business. This document is especially important in the context of the mysterious proposal to restructure boards and commissions. Though this proposal has still not been discussed in any public meeting, there seems to be significant work occurring by city staff, with council review apparently scheduled for the spring. The current proposal will eliminate all 20 advisory boards and tell 200 resident volunteers that their service is no longer needed. It will create 4 advisory boards with extremely broad focus areas and allow a maximum of 44 residents to serve in an official capacity. I have serious concerns regarding how this restructure will pit residents and initiatives against each other, competing for the limited time and attention that 4 boards can provide. One of the arguments for restructuring boards and commissions is that they don't provide valuable policy advice to City Council. I would argue that these annual reports tell a different story. This report highlights the annual report submitted by 18 of our boards and commissions, which include a total of 30 specific recommendations to City Council. I disagree that boards aren't making sufficient recommendations. Perhaps the issue is that council and staff are failing to listen and follow through on these important recommendations. Perhaps the issue is that, despite an ever-increasing city budget, our city is not allocating sufficient staff to properly support and honor the volunteer contributions made by so many residents. I agree that we need to improve our boards and commissions process, but this plan, developed behind closed doors over many months, is not the way we do our best work. I strongly encourage this committee to recommend that city staff redirect their efforts to restructure boards and commissions. Let's hit pause on the current process and shift to a more open discussion, one that provides all board and commission members, along with the public at large, a chance to weigh in. Let's talk about what works, what doesn't, what we need to improve, and how we do it. What we don't need is a predetermined outcome. We need a process that allows everyone to help chart a path forward. Finally, I want to lift up the efforts of so many of our neighbors and thank them for their service over this past year, a year in which meetings were held virtually and already limited staff resources were stretched even further. I sincerely hope our city is able to continue to honor their significant contributions and strengthen rather than destroy our structure for advisory boards. Thank you.
Do we have any other callers?
There are no other callers. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda. Under new business, we have February board appointments. We have a few applications available, and I'll just open up the floor to the committee. First of all, we have African American Heritage Commission. We have one resignation, and we have 3 applications to review. Is there a recommendation for appointment?
Recommend Ashley Wilberding of West Asheville. I believe of the application, she was the only one who lives within the city.
I was wondering, Ashley Wilberding also applied for the Human Relations Commission, and I know it's not. I know she can serve on both boards. I'm wondering if there is an interest of her to serve on both boards, but we won't be able to determine that until we make connection with her. Sarah, do you have any feedback on how that normally goes with a volunteer serving on more than one commission or board?
Yes, the max is serving on 2.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we have seen that.
Okay, Kim, did you want to make comment?
Yes, I also noticed that Ashley applied for 2. However, on the Human Relations Commission application, it is noted that Ashley doesn't live in the city limits. So can we confirm whether or not that is indeed the case, since we have 2 different points of information?
If you want to go on to the next board, I will pull up her application right now and reconfirm.
Okay, for Board of Examiners, hold on for a moment. Board of Electrical Examiners, we have 1 application, but the applicant is not an electrical contractor, so we're going to re-advertise for that seat. The Historic Resources Commission, we have one vacancy there and no applications received, so the clerk's office will re-advertise for that seat as well. And under Human Relations Commission, there are 2 vacancies. We have 4 applications, and Ashley Wilberding is, in fact, an applicant there. So I'll just hold off a little while on that and move to Multi-Modal Transportation Commission. We have 1 vacancy. The staff liaison and board chair recommend Leanna Joyner to be appointed to the Greenway seat, and the current transit member, Bill Loftus, be moved to the transit seat. Kim?
So as a liaison to the Multi-Modal Transportation Commission, there is a liaison report sent out this morning regarding their January meeting, where there was a discussion about the rotations of vacancies at the transit committee level. And from that discussion, it was suggested that Bill Loftus be moved to the transit seat. He's already serving on the Multi-Modal Transportation Commission. So the recommendation would be to change his appointment from at-large to the transit seat, which would then he would serve on the subcommittee as well. And the group did recommend Leanna Joyner for appointment. So I would make a motion to recommend Leanna Joyner for the Multi-Modal Transportation Commission and to change the appointment seat of Bill Loftus to transit.
Second.
Okay, I'll do a roll call vote for approval. Councilwoman Mosley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Roney,
Aye.
and myself, aye. The motion carries. Under the Neighborhood Advisory Committee, we have one vacancy. We have a few applicants, but only one applicant actually lives within the 28806, 28728, and that is Lucius West. So I'll make a motion to appoint Lucius West to the Neighborhood Advisory Committee vacant seat.
Second.
All right, I'll do a roll call vote for approval. Councilwoman Mosley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Roney,
Aye.
and myself, aye. The motion carries. Jerry?
Yeah, I do want to point out one thing on the multimodal.
Mhm.
Bill Loftus was not at large. We have him as Greenway. So Leanna Joyner will then be appointed to the Greenway seat.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay. And I did confirm Ashley Aberdeen does live in the 28806 zip code, which I don't need to check the address. That's all within city limits. I apologize for any confusion on that.
For clarity, the 28806 is not entirely in the city limits to my
It's
knowledge.
not. And let me check it very quickly. Hang on. I'm going to check that. If you want to move on to
And mostly this is just because we've been having a lot of folks in proximity to the city limits that are interested in serving on our boards and commissions. It's not necessarily about this appointment.
I'm going to check right now. I apologize for that.
Okay, we'll move on away from appointments for the moment, and we'll check in with Ms. Deborah Clark-Jones on our Reparations Commission. I think she has updates and probably an action for this committee to make. Thank you.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you so much for having me. And I'm extremely excited to report that we had a great response to our solicitation for applicants for both the neighborhoods as well as the impact focus areas. And I will just share some high level numbers with that. Of course, our neighborhoods, the selection process is strictly up to their discretion. But several individuals from the community have submitted online applications. All of those applications have been shared with the neighborhood organizations. We received 29 in total, 2 for Stumptown, 5 for Southside, 4 for Shiloh, 4 for the Asheville Housing Authority communities, 2 for the Heart of Chestnut, 4 East End Valley Street, and 3 for Burton Street, and 5 in a category called Other, individuals that expressed an interest in representing a neighborhood, and we shared those 5 with all of the 6 impacted neighborhood organizations for them to consider as well. And so they, our neighborhood partners, will be submitting their appointees on February 15th, as Brenda Mills may have noted, or I am noting actually now. For the impact focus areas, and this is one that actually relates to both the council and the commissioners. We had 25 applicants. And once again, we are seeking individuals from the community who have knowledge in each of those impact focus areas, as well as experience in those. And once again, great response. In terms of the categories that they indicated an interest in, 15 had an interest in housing, 5 in healthcare or health and wellness, 12 in education, 14 in economic development, and 4 in criminal justice. So once again, very excited about the interest shown by the community. Any questions about that before I move into just talking very briefly